This tutorial is suitable for the Level 3 Technical Certificate in Paper Making, and today we want to talk about twin wire machines. Twin wire machines come in a variety of forms. The whole purpose of a twin wire machine is to speed up dewatering, and then by speeding up dewatering you are speeding up production time, and therefore you are reducing your overall overhead cost. An added benefit of twin wire machines is that by dewatering from both sides, you also make the paper less two-sided. Dewatering machines come in a variety of... got that wrong. I need to zap that. I said dewatering machines instead of double wire machines.
Oh, actually, we're still recording, I think. Maybe carry on, and then Eva can just cut it out.
Okay. Twin wire machines come in a variety of configurations. This is one of the configurations. In this configuration, you notice there's a very small gap between the slice slips of the flow box and the second wire. Stock squirts out into this gap, travels along here. It's trapped between these two horizontal wires. Here you have a forming roll which is squeezing the wires together, squeezing the water out, pushing it out through the bottom wire. As the stock travels along here, we've then got an auto slice which scrapes the water that comes through the top wire, collects it in here, that's then taken away. Then we have some inverted vacuum boxes, a suction slice, and finally a rotary vacuum box before it emerges from this nip and then carries on to the rest of the process. This is another version of a twin wire former. Again, two horizontal wires, but this time we have a larger gap between the slice and the top wire. People did try what we call vertiform wires. The first one was by Black Clawson. They had the idea of two wires coming down together vertically and pushing the stock down between those wires. But they found it was impossible to control gravity, and therefore Beloit swapped it around and had the jet of stock being shot vertically in the air and being caught by these two wires and dewatered as it travelled up. There's a whole generation of Beloit formers, and this is just one of them. That went on to become this, the gap former, that was the primary machine used for newsprint production. Newsprint has a design lifespan of less than 24 hours, so you want a really cheap piece of paper. If you want a cheap piece of paper, you've got to really produce it as quickly as you possibly can so that you reduce the overhead cost. So the idea here is we squirt the stock almost vertically in between these two wires. Up it comes round there. Bernoulli's theorem operates in this area. That outer wire is returned. The inner wire comes down and carries it on into the press section. And you can see from these figures here the dry content or the moisture content of the sheet as it passes through the system. This is now another twin wire machine, but rather than being a twin wire former, where you're producing one sheet between two wires from one flow box, a twin wire Fordrinia produces a two-ply sheet on two wires from two flow boxes. So the idea here is that flow box 1 will squirt stock onto this wire, flow box 2 will squirt stock onto this wire, the two sheets will come together and you will get a sheet that is top side to top side, and the sheet that comes off here will have two wire sides. Now a question to think about is, how many ways are there of putting these two sheets together? Pause the video, have a think for a moment, and then I'll tell you the answer. Okay, the answer is 3. You can put sheets together, two top sides together, as is done in this case. It's also possible to configure it that you put two wire sides together, and it's possible to have top side to wire side. Top side to top side gives the strongest ply bond. Y side to Y side gives the weakest ply band, top side to Y side gives a ply band of intermediate strength. You would use this sort of configuration where if you wanted to produce, say, a 200 gram sheet, if you're producing a 200 gram sheet on a single wire, then the water has got to drain through all that fibre, and that takes quite a while. So by producing two 100 gram sheets, you can drain it a lot quicker, and therefore you can increase production speed. So that's all we have in this tutorial, a quick summary of the things I've said. The aim of twin wire machines was to reduce overhead cost by increasing dewatering speeds. An added benefit is to reduce two-sidedness. Twin wire formers have one flow box and two wires producing one sheet, whereas twin wire quadrineas have two wires and two flow boxes producing one two-ply sheet. That's all from this tutorial. Thank you for your attention.